As the war was winding down, uh, Dad was flying priority freight, things like Norden bomb sites and that sort of thing on the West Coast for the airline that was sort of formed to do that sort of thing. They were flying Wacos and sort of the Learjets of their day. And there was also a lot of interest among various Hollywood types, Howard Hughes, and a lot of Hollywood producers were interested in aviation in those days. So the idea of an airline was starting to gel. And as part of that, Dad was sent back to Minneapolis to Northwest Airlines to study their operation on how to run an airline, how to start an airline. The new idea was for a regional airline, a feeder airline as they were called in those days. It would fly regional areas and bring passengers to Los Angeles, San Francisco for the transcontinental carriers to carry them. And so Dad was very much a part of that. Went back to Minneapolis to learn how to run an airline, and that was when I was about 4 years old. And I spent that winter. My mom and I went up to live on the farm with Grandma and Grandpa Gorton, and I was called Big Chief Fall Off the Woodpile, and I had a lot of experience as a 4-year-old on the farm, from gathering eggs out of the hen house to sawing up copious amounts of firewood using the tractor and a big belt that ran a sawmill-sized saw blade to cut up wood, haul ice up from Lake Blaine to the ice house where it was in sawdust and saved for the summertime when you can go back there and get a block of ice and make some ice cream. So that was a very formative period in my life, the period of time when Dad was back in Minneapolis learning to run an airline. Then they came out here, and a pretty small group of people established navigational facilities for the West Coast. They strung together things like radio stations and all kinds of beacons and that sort of thing to establish radio navigation along the West Coast. And the airline was eventually founded using World War II surplus DC-3s, which are ubiquitous in those days.